Dropshipping. You set up an online store, list products you never physically touch, and when a customer places an order, a third-party supplier ships it directly to them. Your profit sits in the gap between what you charge and what the supplier costs you. Most dropshippers use platforms like Shopify paired with suppliers from AliExpress or CJ Dropshipping. Startup costs are low, sometimes under $100, but the margins are painfully thin, often between 15 and 30% before ad spend. And that is where the real problem lives. Nearly every dropshipping business today is entirely dependent on paid advertising, mostly through Facebook and TikTok. The moment your ad costs rise or your account gets flagged, revenue disappears overnight. The model exploded in popularity between 2017 and 2020, and the space is now flooded. Gurus still sell it as a golden ticket, but what they rarely mention is the refund rates, the shipping times that frustrate customers, and the near impossibility of building a real brand around products you do not control. It can work, but it demands constant testing, rapid iteration, and a tolerance for slim returns. Print on demand. This model works similarly to dropshipping in that you never hold inventory, but the product itself carries your original designs. You create artwork, slogans, or graphics and place them on items like t-shirts, mugs, phone cases, or posters through services like Printful, Printify, or Redbubble. When someone buys, the provider prints the item and ships it. Your creative work is the differentiator. Margins hover around 20 to 40%, and the startup cost is essentially zero if you already have design skills. The challenge is visibility. Selling through marketplaces like Etsy or Amazon Merch means competing with millions of other designers. Building your own storefront means paying for traffic. Print on demand rewards people who understand niche audiences, designing for specific communities, hobbies, or identities rather than trying to appeal to everyone. It scales slowly but steadily, and unlike dropshipping, you actually own the intellectual property behind what you sell. Amazon FBA. Fulfillment by Amazon lets you send your products to Amazon's warehouses, and they handle storage, packing, shipping, and customer service. You focus on sourcing or manufacturing a product, optimizing your listing, and driving sales. The appeal is access to Amazon's enormous customer base, hundreds of millions of active buyers already searching with intent to purchase. Startup costs are significantly higher than dropshipping, typically ranging from $2,000 to $10,000 for initial inventory, product samples, and listing optimization. Margins can reach 40 to 50% on well-chosen products, but Amazon takes substantial fees, referral fees, storage fees, FBA fees, and they add up fast. The competitive landscape is fierce. Private labeling, where you put your own brand on a generic product, is the most common strategy, and many categories are saturated with sellers racing to undercut each other. Returns and inventory management add complexity. Still, Amazon FBA remains one of the more proven paths to six figures for people willing to treat it like a real business with real capital at risk. Digital products. This covers anything sold and delivered electronically: ebooks, templates, spreadsheets, design assets, Lightroom presets, Notion dashboards, stock photos, printable planners, software plugins. You create the product once and sell it an unlimited number of times with no inventory, no shipping, and nearly zero marginal cost per sale. Margins can exceed 90%. The business model is as old as the internet itself, but has surged recently thanks to platforms like Gumroad, Lemon Squeezy, and PayHip that make selling effortless. The hard part is not creation, it's distribution. Getting your product in front of people who actually want it requires either an existing audience, strong SEO, or paid traffic. Digital products work best when paired with content creation or an email list. The most successful sellers solve a very specific problem for a very specific person: a budgeting spreadsheet for freelance designers, a resume template for new graduates. Specificity sells. The scalability is nearly limitless, and once the flywheel turns, income becomes genuinely passive. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for part 2.